give up on plans and dreams. When discouragement sets in, I remember I am fully human and fully divine, a spiritual being endowed with many divine gifts. I fortify myself by invoking my innate qualities of strength and power. They give me the determination to keep going, to stay the course. I can use my body and mind to accomplish what I set out to do, but I also know there is more to me than that. The attributes of God are mine to use. I believe in myself and move forward with determination. The scripture reading today is from 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 8. So deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you have become very dear to us. And if you would affirm and repeat with me, my determination takes me far. Amen.
Technical difficulties. Some wire got crossed somewhere, but thank you, Sophia, very much. All right, now we'll prepare for a time of meditation. We'll start with a song. Feel free to sing along or just to close your eyes and settle in and listen and let the music take you into that meditative place.
If you haven't done so, I invite you now to close your eyes and just relax. I want you to take your attention to your body right now. Maybe focus on how your feet feel on the floor. Just become aware of that. Take your attention to your hands. Maybe you wiggle your fingers just to be aware of that sense. Feel your back against the seats and just become present to this moment. Take a slow, deep breath as you're able. Just let it be natural. And focus on your breath for a moment as it gently flows in and flows out. As we inhale peace, calm, compassion. And we exhale any worries that we may have for the day. Take your attention now to your heart. If there's any sensations you feel, any tingling in your heart, let it be so that you can be completely aware of it. Now bring to mind someone that you are grateful for, a beloved relative or a friend or a furry friend, or even a place that you feel at peace with nature. Keep holding on to that sensation, knowing that we are multiplying it here with each person that is here. If we really want to change the world, we start in our hearts with peace, with compassion, with love. And we take this feeling and send it out to the city around us, to our country around us, and to the globe, sending peace, compassion, and understanding anywhere and everywhere that it may be needed. And we know that there are plenty of those places right now. Keep sending this powerful energy of love to every corner of the world, to anyone that comes to mind, to any situation, to any event. Take one slow, deep breath again. And let's go into the silence. And as you slowly start coming back into the room, hold on to that love, hold on to that compassion, hold on to that understanding, so that you can take it to the world the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Whoever you meet, whatever it is that you are doing for the day, for the week, take this feeling of love, compassion, and understanding with you. Repeat with me. I am compassion. Together. I am compassion. And so it is. Amen.
As you feel ready, if you haven't, open your eyes, bring your attention back to this time and this place. Wiggle those fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, please stand as you're able and join us in singing Ricky Byers' tune, Our Loving Will Change the World. Wonderful, thank you. You guys are very fortunate to have such an amazing talented musicians here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Speaking of changing the world, I would like to begin by acknowledging and honoring Black History Month, which reminds us that Black history is not just a separate story, but an essential part of our
American and Human Story. It was begun in February 1926 as Negro History Week by historian Dr. Carter G. Woodson, a son of formerly enslaved people. Dr. Woodson chose the second week of February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, two giants who pushed our nation toward freedom. Dr. Woodson created this week to challenge a society that ignored the contributions of Black people to this nation's life and culture. By 1976, this initiative expanded into the full month that we observe today. As spiritual seekers, we recognize this time as a call to honor God's creation of all people, especially in these challenging times. To remember our journey and to continue the work of justice, reconciliation, truth, and compassion in our communities. And you may be wondering also why I have this stole on very colorful. This is actually, first of all, I got ordained through the Unity Urban Ministerial School, which was founded by Dr. Reverend Ruth Mosley, who was an African American that wanted to take the message of unity right to the people, to the urban setting. And she was from Detroit, and that's where she took it. That's actually where the school still is physically. So when I was getting ordained, it just so happens one of our fellow ministers had somebody brought this over. This material is actually right from Africa. And it was brought here, and like I said, one of our fellow ministers actually helped to make these stoles and gave them to us as a little gift to us. So that's why you see what I see. And I thought it was only fitting for me to wear it this morning. Thank you. Getting right to the lesson. Who here has experienced feeling like you're at the mercy of your circumstances and it feels like things just happen to you? Any takers? And I'm sure you've felt defensive, especially when you know you were right. Even if you might have realized later on that maybe you were not so right? Am I right or am I right? Yeah. Well, I think we've all been there. And actually, I was arguing with my wife just the other day, and she told me that I was right. Please help me. I don't know what else to do now. All kidding aside, instead of trying to be right, wouldn't it be better to approach each situation, each interaction, with a sense of curiosity, a sense of wonder? Approaching every experience with the wonder of a child. I think that's what Jesus meant when he said in Matthew 18, verse 3, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." And as I'm sure you know, in Unity, we talk about heaven being a state of mind, right? So therefore, to me, it follows that to be happy, we must be willing to be curious. We must be open to learning. So we have to come with that sense of wonder like a child. I know that the Dalai Lama sees the children as the key to have compassion and understanding and peace in our world today. So let's hold on to that wherever it is that we are, whatever it is that we are doing. So this is the bottom line in this month's focus, based on the chapter Learning Through Curiosity from the book The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership that Reverend Mo is working with and with the church. First of all, last month, if you were here last month, we talked about committing to taking radical responsibility. And in order to do that, we need to be aware that when we're either above the line or below the line. And if you don't remember that, it has to do, if you're above the line, are you coming from presence, from being? And if you're below the line, are you working from fear? So I hope that's an easy way to remember. You're either in presence or in fear. This commitment of learning through curiosity follows naturally from taking radical responsibility. Once we take responsibility, we can be willing and open to learning through curiosity. So let's see what the difference for this commitment is when we're above the line or below the line. Are you guys ready? So when we are below the line, we are saying, I commit to being right and to seeing this situation as something that is happening to me. I commit to being defensive, especially when I am certain that I am right. And I'm sure nobody here has ever experienced that, right? Now, when we're above the line, we are saying, I commit to growing in self-awareness. I commit to regarding every interaction as an opportunity to learn. I commit to curiosity as a path to rapid learning. And who wants to learn quickly? I hope everybody, right? If you truly want to change the world, commit to being above the line. Commit to being in presence. Below the line, when we're below the line, we're close, defensive, and we think that things are happening to us. It is a to me experience. I am the victim. Being below the line, we are coming from ego because we are committed to the survival of the ego, because that's what the ego is all about, surviving. Now, the ego is fighting for survival, and we get entrenched in the scarcity belief that there isn't enough love, time, money, energy, security, control, and approval. There's good news. Above the line, when we're above the line, we're open, curious, committed to learning, and we feel that things are happening by us. It is a by me experience. I am choosing my experiences. We are open to the fun game of learning and growing. Who thinks that learning and growing is fun? I mean, I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but bear with me. And yes, we trust ourselves or source to provide us with plenty of love, time, energy, control, and approval. Does that sound good? Let's keep on going. When you're below the line, you're coming from fear, as I mentioned earlier. And that fear drives our beliefs and behaviors. So we want to change that, right? When we're below the line, we're being committed to being right, which represents drive. And it's all about the goal and the destination. And it may sound like a good thing, but if you think about it, when you're coming from drive, that you have to force things, and there's a goal that you must get to, it's not always the best thing for you or those around you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And along these lines, it's about staying in the drama and comparing ourselves to others. Has anybody here has compared themselves to anybody else? I don't see any hands. I'll believe you. Oh, sure, yeah, okay. I know I have, of course. And yes, if you're comparing yourself to others, think about it as, yes, you're being below the line, right? Instead of comparing yourself to others, move above the line and say to yourself, what is there for me to do? It is not about what is there for me to do because that person is doing this or that. What is there for me to do, period? What am I here to do in the world? How am I here to change the world? Now, the issue isn't about being right, but rather wanting to be right and fighting to be right and proving that you are right. When you are committed to being right, you may be asking these questions to yourself, whether you are conscious of them or not. How could I protect what's mine? How can I maintain my image? How can I stay in control? And yes, believe it or not, how can I avoid conflict? Now, when you're above the line, as I mentioned before, above the line is about being in presence, considering everything as a learning opportunity. Curiosity is all about the journey. And we talk about that life is also all about the journey. It's not necessarily a destination. Life is about being right here, right now. What am I to do in this moment? So that's why it follows that being curious is the best thing for you to bring you into presence and bring that curiosity so that you can know what it is that you need to do next. And a couple of questions you might ask when you're in curiosity is, am I willing to be curious? Am I willing to learn? Am I willing to be in wonder? Self-awareness and learning agility is what this commitment, let me start again. Self-awareness and learning agility is what this commitment of learning through curiosity is all about. When you're learning through curiosity, you're open to accepting, and you are open to learning. When you're not open to other views, you're closing yourself to learning and to growing emotionally and sociologically. Say that 3 times real quickly. I want you to think of being above the line or below the line like 2 sides of the same coin. If you find yourself below the line, know that there is something you can do to get yourself above the line. Because one, it goes together with the other. And yes, because you're working on being above the line, it doesn't mean that you're always going to be there, right? You can try as hard as you want, and there's going to be times where you're going to go below the line. And I have a confession to make. On the way here, I was on the highway, and I was pulling into the highway onto 95. Well, it was 528 actually. And I saw that I had space to go in, and I picked up speed to be at the speed that everybody else was going. And I'm getting behind the car in front of me, and I'm still in my lane to get in still. And there was this car that the more I got closer to the entrance, the faster he came. And of course, I admit, I got myself below the line at that point. I had to prove a point. I didn't get in front of him, but I kept as close as possible, and then I beeped at him to let him know that he was doing something wrong. And things were happening to me. I'm sure my wife loves that I'm actually coming clean with this. So yeah, if you feel yourself below the line, know that you can do something to get yourself. Did I say it right? Right? If you feel you're below the line, know that you can do something to be above the line. And an easy way to do it that the book talks about is to, and actually we were for the meditation son, take a deep breath. Just pause, breathe. And the next step, believe it or not, is accept where you are. And it's not about beating yourself up because you notice that you're below the line. Just accept that you're there, and what can you do next? Well, after you accept it, you breathe, you accept, and then you shift. Now, to shift, we go back to that state of wonder. Ask questions of curiosity, questions of wonder. You may ask, what is the lesson here? I'm not sure what the lesson was for me yet. I'm working on it. What can I learn from the situation being exactly as it is? Meaning, be okay with what's happening, and what can you learn from it? How would I react right now if I weren't trying to control an outcome? Do you like controlling? I know I do, right? I mean, come on, let's be honest. But when we're working on our being above the line, we want to practice stopping the control. We talk about here in Unity, letting go and letting God, right? That's about releasing control and letting divine guidance guide you into what it is that you need to do or how it is that you need to be in the world at that moment that you're thinking about it. Being in presence is being in a state of wonder. And yes, it begins with a willingness to explore and step into the unknown. Because if you think about it, when we're asking God to guide us, do we really know what the outcome's going to be when we say, God, show me the way? Do we know it already before we ask? Even after we ask, we don't necessarily know, right? We just know that maybe you have an inclination or a thought or a vision comes into your mind that, oh, this is the next step that I need to take. But do you always know what the end result of that step is going to be? I don't think so, right? And I know there are people, maybe even in this room, that kind of can see sometimes into the future. And yes, I've had moments like that too. I'll briefly mention, before I even met my wife, I had a dream. And I had been practicing what they call, and I'm spacing on the name now, being aware of your dream that you're dreaming. Lucid dreaming, thank you. I was practicing that, and I was starting to get used to it, and I'm in the middle of this dream, and I see myself walking up to my home, and I knew in my dream that I was coming from work. As I open the door, I see two little girls, about 4 and 5. And in that moment, I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming. These must be my little girls. So if these are my little girls, I want to see who my wife is. And I walk, and I go through the house, through every room, and I came to the bedroom, and I saw a female sleeping there on the side, and I could just see the hair and just her profile. And right before I could do anything else, I woke up. Surprise, surprise. Spoiler alert. No. Thank you for that. But lo and behold, maybe a couple of years later when that happened, and I was already with my wife and everything, and then it happened, I was reminded when I actually had my 2 girls already. And I realized, oh, I had that dream. And when I think about the dream, looking at the hair and the profile, it was definitely my wife. So yes, we can sometimes see into the future, but it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get every single time that you ask for guidance, right? I hope everybody realizes that. So don't feel bad if you're not catching everything ahead of time. Just if you're aware what's your next step, be okay with that and trust it. Trust source that is guiding you so that you can move into the next step. And you know at that moment you are living from above the line. And I'm sure I got off the subject, so let me see what I was saying here. Well, I was just actually it follows because I was going to follow with if you're not sure if you're above or below the line, ask yourself, where am I? Am I above the line or am I below the line? Consider that when you go into any event, any interaction with anybody, am I above the line or am I below the line? Because the little things that we don't even realize, they're the little things that trigger us, right? And it may not have anything to do with what's being said in the moment. It might be something, just one of the words that was said in the sentence, or maybe the way somebody looks might trigger us. Are you above the line or below the line? And yes, if you find yourself below the line, what do we do again? We pause, breathe, accept where you are, and shift. Think for yourself, what is in the lesson? What's the lesson in it for me here? How can I come from a state of curiosity as to what's happening? And there's been moments, I mentioned to you, of course, what happened to me on the highway. There's been plenty of moments along my life, and even after working on all this, I still do it. I mean, obviously, when you're below the line, just remember, if you are being closed, if you're being defensive, if something is just triggering you, how can you get above the line? And maybe start considering why whatever triggered you. You know, that's part of working with the shadow that I know Reverend Mo is going to be working with you guys down the road here. So remember, once again, if you find yourself below the line, ask, where am I? Am I below the line? Am I above the line? And if you're below the line, be curious and ask yourself, how can I learn to be above the line? What's the lesson for me here so that I can, in this moment, get above the line? Let yourself be guided. I think a lot of us have experienced many moments here where all it takes is to take a pause, take a deep breath, and we feel the shift, right? We feel the energy change. I think I mentioned this a while back, an interaction I was having with my parents, who had been divorced for years and years, and this one time we were all in the same room, and they have never agreed on anything. But for some reason, something that was being said, they decided to be on the same side, and they were arguing the point with me. And I'm like, what's going on here? Am I in the Twilight Zone or something? And I remember, and I learned this from A Course in Miracles, I took a step back, and I just took a breath, and I just let the situation release. And my dad, who was in the middle of his argument, in the middle of his sentence, he just stopped and said, I lost my train of thought. At that moment, I jumped in and I changed the subject. And all was well. So yes, keep practicing curiosity like children do. Know that our children are really there to teach us, aren't they, right? They're always coming from that state of curiosity. And they're asking questions, and they're not asking questions to be right? They're asking questions because they really are curious to learn whatever it is that they are to learn. Remember what the Dalai Lama says, that they are the key to peacefulness in this world. And remember Matthew 18, verse 3, unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So think about the possibilities to committing to being curious and asking wonder questions. Do you want to be right? Or do you want to be happy? Choose wisely. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Harold. So, this is the time in the service when we affirm our abundance and our prosperity. We start with our prosperity affirmation, saying it together: divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am grateful. And then we'll stand and sing together. Please be seated. For those who are new and don't already know, we don't take the offering now. On the way out to hospitality at the end of the service, we have planters by the doors, and you can drop your offering there as if planting the seeds of your own prosperity and the prosperity of this ministry and nourishing them so that they grow into their full abundance. So we'll invite Reverend Harold now to come and bless the offering we know is forthcoming.
Let's all extend our hands to just send that energy. We welcome that energy of prosperity, abundance into our church here. That energy of circulation that is everywhere present, always active. We know that everything that you are given here is given in love, and it is used for love. We know that as we give, we get back, and for every measure that we give, we get that measure back, and it comes back to us, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For a greater understanding of this law, we give thanks, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Harold. So, we have chaplains here to pray with you after the service. Can our chaplains just put hands up? Ann is back there. Pat's in the back. So we have at least 2 chaplains here to pray with you if you have a prayer need or a prayer desire after the service today. We have notices in the printed bulletin as well as on the bulletin board in the hall just outside here and the one in the hospitality area. Please take a moment and review those things. We have a lot of really amazing, exciting things happening here at Unity of Melbourne that you might want to know about. More than we have time to speak about in our ministry minute. Today, please, if you are a voting member of Unity of Melbourne, instead of going out the door to hospitality during God is My Source, just drop your offering and then resume your seat. Please retake your seats. We have to vote on new board members. We've had one pass away. We've had one get very ill. We've had a couple have to resign for personal reasons, and we need to have board members. It's in our charter that we have to have at least 3 officers and at least 1 other member, preferably 2 or 3 more members on the board. We're going to try to get that done in 5 minutes flat. We're not going to hold you forever and ever, so please just stay after God is My Source so that we can take care of that efficiently if you are a voting member of Unity of Melbourne. And that is all the announcements I have. Let's stand together for our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The mind of God guides me. The life of God flows through me. The laws of God direct me. The power of God abides within me. The joy of God uplifts me. The strength of God renews me. The beauty of God inspires me. Wherever I am, God is. And take hands across the aisle. We'll sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song of vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So, voting members, please stay in the room. We know you want to socialize. We'll get to it really soon. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Stoney at the piano. And Kevin on the bass. Nick on the drums. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me